How's it going, YouTube? Well, I'm missing something. I'll be right back. How's it going, viewers of the internet? In today's exciting video, I'm going to be going over if Walmart bikes are really worth it. So this video is not primarily based towards Walmart. It's also based towards a lot of department stores like Target, Costco, Sam's Club, Kmart, all those department stores near you who sell bikes. So without further ado, let's get right into this freaking video. So the very first issue with a lot of these department store bikes is that they're very cheaply made. That's a complete known fact, that they're made out of high tensile steel, mainly just steel in general. They're not really high tensile, but a lot of these bikes are made in China, Japan, and many other foreign countries just like that, where they don't really spend that much time producing bike parts, and they're made in factories where the welds aren't really seen thoroughly and they're not built to last. So back then there was Mongoose, GT, and many companies just like that who made bikes that literally lasted for 3,000 million years, and the bike parts didn't really break that easily. Versus parts nowadays, and versus, Walmart bikes nowadays that break really freaking fast.
Do nothing to it. Do nothing to it, and this happened. I bet you your bike isn't this cool. You got this part hanging down, Thank you, Walmart.
The reason being is that when you pick up a Walmart bike off the shelf, a lot of people think this is a good bike. It rides perfectly smooth, it has no gears messed up, the brakes are fine. But after like a month or so of riding it, you find out like the gears are all messed up, the brakes don't work, the brakes lock up, the seat is really uncomfortable, something like that happens. That's because the bike is produced to break.
Thank you, Walmart.
Its priority is to break at some point, so you go back to the store and you go buy another one of their bikes. Now this isn't just seen with bikes. A lot of car manufacturers do this, and a lot of companies do this, where their parts and items are only made for a certain amount of time. So when they break, you have to buy more. And then when you have to buy more, it makes the company more revenue. Now this being said, that all those bike companies and all those bike manufacturers that sell their bikes through department stores, they're not built for reputation. They're just built so when you pick it off the shelf and you ride it for the first time, it feels good and dandy enough. Now to add on with this, if you were to walk through an aisle, a bike aisle through Walmart, Costco, Kmart, or something like that, a lot of bikes there are not made with a lot of specs and thought in mind. A lot of it's just made to look good. And now this can be proven with the fact of oil slick. When oil slick became popular, there was little bike companies, I don't know the name of them off the top of my head, but there's bike companies who actually tried making that oil slick colorway, and it just ended up being the oil slick colors, but just spray painted on, and they didn't really shine at all. It made it just look like oil slick, so many little children or people who didn't really know anything that much about BMX, or didn't know that there was bike shops or dance comp or Albies, they would go to Walmart, see this bike, and think that it's the nice BMX oil slick bike, and think that, Harry Mayne rode it, or you get the train of thought, I mean, if they break after a month, what about the warranty? The warranty for these bikes absolutely blow. Now, of course, some department stores' warranties are perfect and it will let you return the bike, but the issue being is that some warranties are so precise to the point where it'll only warranty, let's just say, the bars, the frame, the wheels, or something like that. Read upon it. It's a real fact that it will only warranty some of the parts on the bike, and it won't warranty the whole entire bike in general. I mean, if they ride perfect the first day, don't you think that it was just user error and people ruined it themselves?
Thank you, Walmart.
Absolutely freaking not. And here's what I need. So 9 times out of 10, the people who are actually servicing these bikes, the people who actually assemble a lot of these bikes right when they come off the truck, are the same people who you will find off the freaking streets. They're not much different. A lot of the times they don't ask for a certain bike technician or a certain bike degree to be able to put together these parts. A lot of them are just like your local neighbor who will just go and find a job that seems interesting to them, and if bike building is interesting to them, the department store will hire them. Now a lot of people are probably sitting at their computer screens wondering, what does this mean? Well, it means that the bikes aren't really put together the way that they should be 9 times out of 10.
Okay, why don't you go over what's wrong with this bicycle?
You can hear some very loud rubbing. The fork, and if you look at this, you can tell it's on backwards. Very loose. I mean, you would never be able to stop with that. Whole fork is moving back and forth in it. So yeah, be very cautious when buying a bike here. Very cautious.
If you were to go to Walmart and actually inspect the bikes thoroughly, you'll find many things wrong with them. Many things wrong with them. Trust me on my life. Last time I went, half the spokes on one bike were so loose to the point where the wheel was able to shift and wobble just like that, which is really not good. Really not good. You would think that the bike technician or assembler there would be able to tighten those spokes to make sure the rim is actually intact when the person is riding their bike. Like, let's just say some little kid is trying to learn how to ride a bike. Their dad lets go of the kid for the first time to let him ride down the street, and all of a sudden the freaking front wheel decides to taco and the kid eats it. You really think Johnny's gonna want to ride a bike again? You really think so? He put a lot of trust into his dad. He thought the wheel wasn't gonna taco, but it went kaplinsh, it tacoed.
Check this out. All right, ready? See that? Look at that. There you have it. Pop in, pop out.
Now, of course, sometimes a lot of the department stores like to hire people with certain degrees in bike technician. A lot of people like to also have schools and online programs for them set up to be able to have those people who are assembling the bikes to be able to learn how to assemble the bikes. But 9 times out of 10, they're not really put together to use to be able to prove that. So I can speak behalf my bike shop career that I had for probably like 5 months. One of the things that really bugged us the most, and one of the things that bugs a lot of bike shops, is that when somebody buys a bike from Walmart or Target or Costco or something like that, and then all of a sudden one of their parts break, just like I mentioned earlier, the parts will break eventually, and then they try getting a new part through the bike shop because the people who actually run the department store, there is no service whatsoever. You can't go back there if your brakes lock up. You can't go back there if something happens and try getting service to it because they don't do it at all. There's no service to it. And then we can't do a freaking thing about it because let's just say they're threaded forks. Now the bike shop's just gonna tell you to screw off because first of all, it's a Walmart bike, and second of all, there's no like aftermarket threaded forks or any stock forks you can actually buy that are threaded that you can actually replace for that bike. Now sometimes there is, but 9 times out of 10 there isn't. And then when the bike shops say, okay, your total is gonna be like $4 million, the reason being is that they have to buy new forks, a new stem, a new headset, and a lot of new things just to get those certain forks replaced. And that's when people start talking trash about the bike shops. It's just because of issues like that. And that just leads to very pissed off parents saying that this bike shop is just trying to steal more money. But in reality, you shouldn't have bought a cheap bike in the first place. So one issue that is very apparent with a lot of these Walmart or department stores bikes is that their sizes are strict for bikes. Now, a lot of BMX riders are going to be watching this portion of the video where it talks about size and thinking, what does that have to do with anything? Well, for a lot of riders who ride MTB bikes, downhill racing bikes, road bikes, they care a lot about size because they're doing something that requires them going super freaking fast and super freaking intense to the point where they have to have the size perfect for their body. Department store bikes, their sizes are strict. You can't go to a department store bike and buy, let's just say, a bike with like 30-inch wide handlebars and you want it to be like a 19-inch frame or something like that, or 21-inch frame. They're not going to serve you at all. They're just going to tell you, what the hell are you talking about? You are getting one size, and half the time that size is very unproportioned to, you know, the regular human body. Well, last time I tried buying a bike from Walmart, the lady was really nice and she convinced me to buy it because my daughter really loved it. A lot of the times the people who work at Walmart, who work at these department stores, and who actually are able to help and sell a lot of their toys and bikes, they also are the same people who work at the very different departments of that store. There isn't like a specialty bike person. There isn't like a specialty mechanic person who helps in picking out the person's bike. You have a problem with a bike there and you want to have more information on it, tough luck. Look on the website. That's about as good as you're going to get it, because the people who work and help in giving service to those bikes and help selling them, they don't know anything. Alright Ryan, I get what you're saying. What's the point of this video? They're cheap bikes. Your point? My point is that they're also cheap, but you can get something way better. Why would you buy a piece of junk that's going to break eventually when you could just go to a bike shop and ask someone who actually specialties in bikes and that will be brutally honest with you about what bike you should get for the type of style that you're trying to ride? Now, it isn't that much more expensive for local bike shops, and it isn't that much more money to be able to go into a bike shop versus Walmart. Honestly, it's very directly the same price, and if anything, those bikes are put together way better than any other bike that you will find at a department store. Look, are you saying bike shops are better? Oh freaking yeah, I am. Now, I may be infamous for making those bike shop save videos, but one thing I do support 100% is supporting your local bike shop. Alright, I get what you're saying through buy a bike shop, but why would I pay like $20 more when I could just buy it through a department store for like $100? A lot of the times when you buy a bike from a bike shop, bike store, bike park, it also has added on bonuses with it. When I worked at a bike shop in a bike park, one of the bonuses was being able to have like 2 weeks of a free pass. 2 free weeks of riding at a bike park. And tell me if you would buy a bike through there that it's not freaking worth it because it was like $28 a session every day. Now, more things that these bike shops do is that they offer free cleaning. They offer free tune-ups after like a month. They offer free a lot of things if you buy a bike through them. Now, take that with a grain of salt and get the best deal out there. I see. Oh freaking yeah, you see. You get what you pay for. You go buy a bike from Walmart, you're just pretty much buying junk. And let me just go through the fact that the dealer price for a lot of those bikes at department stores are probably just as much as a meal from McDonald's.
Thank you, Walmart.
Alright, so it's not actually, you know, how much is a meal from McDonald's. The dealer price is probably like 30 bucks per bike. So take that into consideration. It probably makes about 10-15 bucks to make each bike versus a bike through a bike shop that could probably be like $35 dealer price. It takes $50 to make and you're getting it for $100 versus a bike that is also $30 dealer price. It takes $15 to make, but it's also sold for the same price. Take a minute and think about that one. Take a minute. So what I'm trying to say is just support your local because they will be there in the end. They will be there to help you. So thank you guys so very much for watching this video. If you guys have any questions regarding why you should buy versus a Walmart bike or why you should buy versus, you know, a bike shop bike. So thank you guys so very much for watching. A new video every single day this week. I'm super stoked. Leave a comment for a video you guys want to see. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, I just whammed myself right in the freaking face. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.